All right, let's talk about roofs. Oh man, there's so many telltale signs. It's usually not the aesthetics. It's usually not, my roof isn't pretty, because believe it or not, that happens prematurely. Granules start to wash off and they start finding them in your gutters or on the driveway. That's when you want to start thinking about things. Leaks, clearly. Shingles start blowing off, clearly. Other than that, call a professional, get a real inspection. Like our guys, we actually train them to tell people what they need, not what people think they need. So, hey, Jake, I think I need a roof. How much is it? My guys are supposed to go in the attic, on the roof, take photos, do an inspection, and tell you if you need a roof. You wouldn't believe the number of times you can get by with doing some repair work and your roof's gonna be good for another 10 years. That's a loaded question. How long should a roof last? You're talking about asphalt roofs. They are lifetime roofing products, okay? I'm not gonna name any manufacturers when we talk about it, but they all wanna say lifetime. Truth be told, those shingles were 30-year shingles up until about 8, 9, 10 years ago. And then one of the manufacturers said, we're gonna call it a lifetime shingle. Everybody followed suit. If you get 30 years out of a good shingle, that's awesome. You're gonna start looking at a shingle like, it doesn't look great. Probably on year 20 to 22. If you have our guys or if you have me come on, I can almost get you within 3 years of how old your roof is just based on age. Buy a heavy, high grade shingle when you're gonna put a roof on. That's all I can tell people. Thinner is not better, less weight is not good, and warranties do matter. I don't wanna take the warranties away from everybody. That is a very good question. More than it did last year and more than it did the year before. Because let me tell you, as a roofer, it's absolutely insane what roofs are costing nowadays. I feel bad for telling people how much their roof is going to cost. 15 years ago, it would be half of what it is today. If you live in a modest 2,000 square foot ranch home, you probably have 3,500 square feet of roofing on your home, and you are probably in the mid-20s. For cost, which I agree with everyone that's reading this or watching this. It's insane because it is. The manufacturers just keep raising their prices. It's more manufacturer pricing increases than it is us increasing labor. We increase labor nominally every single year to keep up with inflation, which is about 3 to 5%. But you got these guys doing double raises throughout the season, 5% to 10%, once to twice a year. Buy your roof before April 1st because we have a 10% increase in all materials from every manufacturer. I've got letters to prove it. It's gross. That's a good question. Most of our crews are of good size. Of good size is 6 to 8 men. If you are talking about that normal size home, which is 30 to 3,500 square feet of roofing, we're out of there in 2 days. Gutters, another 2 days. And if the contractor did his job, probably needed insulation too, but don't tell the rest of the roofers. I would say there are, let's call it 3 lines. Let's call it 4. So you've got your composite roofing material and your steel roofing material. I'll put those as your number 1 and number 2. You're going to pay double to 2.5 times what you would pay for an asphalt shingle, but they're likely actually going to last 50 years or a lifetime before they really need to go. Then you've got your high-end or luxury shingles. These shingles usually weigh 2 to 3 times as much as a regular shingle that go on a roof. You will pay substantially for that, and honestly, you're probably going to get 5 extra years out of it. The regular shingles that you're going to see out there right now, which are the architectural asphalt shingles, are great for most people. Okay, I'm an old mortgage broker, old house flipper. If you don't know this, most people live in their home for 7 years on average, and then they sell their house. So if you're looking to put a roof on that lasts 100 years because it's generational wealth, we have these projects. You're going to put that steel, copper, super duper luxury composite shingles on there. They're beautiful and they probably will last forever. If you're a normal everyday Joe, put an asphalt shingle on and expect to move every 7 years. If you're lucky enough to get hit by a hailstorm, then yes, even that industry in a whole is changing wildly. There's been a lot of cowboying and storm chasing, I'm sure everybody hears about, right? Guys going from state to state to state, abusing it, and there are some heavy rules that are changing. I mean, there's some insurance companies now that had a forum, if you will, about 6 months ago. They all got together and they said, listen, if your roof is older than 10 years or 15 years, depending on your insurer, we're not gonna insure it. So replace your own roof. Pray for a hailstorm. If it's big enough, they will pay to have it taken off and put back down for the price of your deductible. So if you are $1,000 deductible, you could win a $30,000 roof from your insurance company if the hail damages it enough. Keep an eye on it, talk to your neighbors. You know what? We've talked about that so many times with so many people. It was a very common practice to go over the existing layer of shingles. Back in the day, that's when it was regular, what we call 3-tab shingles. They look like rectangles. They would lay over one another perfectly. You would never know. I think the shingle manufacturers figured out that if you make it look unique, like the newer architectural style shingles, if you put a layer of shingles over those, you're gonna see a wave on the entire roof. So we don't do many second layer roofs anymore. I think that's the number one reason, but. Well, we're not gonna give away all of our trade secrets, right? But if you are going to gather information on your local contractors, that's your first start, right? Google is awesome. Roofers Near Me is great. Interview them first by looking at their websites. Interview them by reading their reviews, most definitely. Okay? Google has taken over the BBB and NARI and all of these other accreditations. People can write what they really feel, and we can't take it off. So that's the first step. Second step is don't hire a sales guy, hire an inspector. What I mean by that is you're gonna have different types of people come out to your home to give you quotes. You could call 10 and maybe, again, I don't wanna give away too many trade secrets, but you'll know the guy that knows what he's talking about as far as roofing and how it should be installed versus opening up a brochure and telling you how awesome the product is and the manufacturer, da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen to the guy that sounds like he knows how to install a roof. Probably a good candidate. And then price. Take the guy in the middle. Don't pick the guy on the low end. Don't pick the guy on the high end unless it's elegant. And the guy in the middle is usually very fair. We try to pride ourselves on landing in that arena all the time. People tell us at least. When I learned this business in my early 20s, you got on every roof and you measured it with a tape measure. Okay, guys don't do that anymore. There's tools available. You call your 3 people to come out and give you a quote. Not a one of them getting on the roof. Let me tell you something, folks. You can walk a roof that's like this. I've walked roofs like this. Nowadays you don't, unless you're doing a true inspection and you're getting on the roof. You're taking pictures of the problem areas. You get what you deserve. The guys that are gonna walk around your house and they're gonna take your camera and they're gonna take their 8 pictures and they're gonna get their measurement from satellite and they're never gonna step foot on your roof. They're probably going to be less than us because they probably didn't find all the problems. Trust the people that get on your roof. They're there to take care of you, diagnose things that need to be diagnosed. Funny enough, it's not summer when it's 100 degrees out. It's honestly, fall is fantastic. The earth's not gonna get too disturbed by foot traffic or machines, like we use machines around the perimeter of your home. Summer is good, don't get me wrong, but those real hot 100+ degree days, those shingles can get what we call marred. So as you're installing them and stepping on them, they'll slide and get damaged, which you don't want anybody roofing your house in the middle of summer when you're having a pool party anyway, right? So call when the kids go back to school, call before they get out of school. Spring and fall are fantastic. The dog days of summer, not so much. And winter can be done. Winter is actually a pretty good time to roof if there's not snow on the roof and it's just simply cold. Not a bad time to put roofing on altogether because your ground is frozen, you're not gonna receive a lot of damage. Everybody's hungry, so you might just get that $30,000 quote from summer and call and maybe you save $1,000 keeping people busy in the winter. Yeah, so I mean, warranties are still important, right? Whether or not they're gonna last a lifetime or 50 years or anything along those lines. We choose a particular manufacturer that we do believe does back their warranties. You're gonna wanna look for a company that also backs themselves, okay? So you're gonna get a material warranty from a manufacturer, you'll get a labor warranty from a manufacturer, and then you'll get a workmanship warranty. You can get workmanship warranties from the manufacturer as well. However, the company willing to put a workmanship warranty on their documentation, I think is one of the strongest indicators that they believe in themselves, right? If we write lifetime workmanship warranty on your paperwork when we're doing the roof and you call us in 5 years, you're not going to have to go fight a manufacturer because the shingle blew off or because you actually did have a leak and it was our fault. I can tell you something, if your roof leaks, it's not the manufacturer's fault in most cases. It's the guy that put your roof on. So workmanship warranty, I think, is one of the most important, and that's why we do offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. So if you buy a roof from us, we put it on, and you call us in 15 years, even if it's something that's just age of the roof or a tree, call us. We'll back our own workmanship.